Hello, and 'tis the season for headaches and hot takes. I'm your host, Chaperian, alongside my co-host, Hern, a.k.a. the Herniator, the Christmas fiend who has no nicknames this week. Because we are too busy celebrating the fact that a B-tier holiday, in my own opinion, is over. Meaning, that's finally the best time of the year. Christmas time.
'Tis the season.
November 1st, you know what that means? Mariah Carey's unfrozen, Michael Bublé's unfrozen. Pentatonics is about to go crazy on the tracks.
What's Bublé do?
What?
What's Bublé?
Michael Bublé?
No, yeah. What's he do for Christmas?
You're serious? That's a serious question you're asking me right now. That's actually incredibly surprising. He has a bunch of Christmas albums too. He plays all the hits, sings all the hits.
Okay. I believe it. But
I mean, he's a very white person thing to do. So.
Right.
Not exclusively, like in a way of like, he's our thing. But in terms of like, generally speaking, nobody else is fighting for Michael Bublé.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah, he's just known for having Christmas music. Actually, you see those jokes about Mariah Carey getting on Frozen, right? For what it's worth, I actually saw those jokes first many years ago. I'm talking like in my middle school iFunny era about Michael Bublé. So,
wow.
That's when I first started seeing those jokes.
Middle school iFunny, yeah, what a pull.
Yeah, right? Man, what a time.
Yep. Very nice.
Yeah, high school. I was down in high school too. I liked iFunny for a long time.
Right.
Anyways, it is officially, in terms of headaches and hot takes land, which is the lane that we live in, time to start celebrating Christmas, as you can see.
Yes, sir.
I started out,
Yes, sir.
I was going to surprise Hern and you all, the viewers, by wearing this Christmas sweater and being like just a little sign that it is the season. My favorite thing about the sweater, by the way, the mismatching cuffs on the sleeves.
That's cool.
How cool are those, right?
Cool. I like that, yeah.
Every time I wear it, I forget about them until the next time I wear it. And so I'm like, oh my God.
That's a good sweater overall. I like all the colors in it.
Right?
It's really
got
good.
A gray base, which is interesting, with all the colors coming along. So my wife has a matching Minnie Mouse one as well. So
Nope.
it's pretty fun.
Okay.
But anyways, like I was saying, I was going to surprise Hern and the viewers by wearing this tonight. But then I decided, you know what? I'm going to tell him anyways. And he was like, oh, thanks for letting me know. And then I get on the call tonight, and you've got show off what you got going on, my man.
We got some lights hung up. It's just nothing too crazy, but we got some colored lights, the superior Christmas lights, colored lights, hung up. And I got my Snoop on a Stoop sweater on,
Nobody's
as
doing
opposed to Elf on a Shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about Snoop on the Stoop, baby.
So don't worry if you're a listener, by the way, and you're like, ugh, terrible, it's not Christmas time yet, blah, vomit, whatever. This is not a Christmas-themed episode. We're just letting you know. We're coming.
Fear
us.
We're coming.
We're coming.
Yes.
We told you, if you've been listening to us since we started, first of all, thank you. But if you've been listening to us since we started, we've told you for a long time now, we're gonna talk a lot about Christmas on this show after Halloween. So it's that time. But for the time being, this is not a Christmas-themed episode.
Right.
And actually, let's hurry up and get to it, because I don't know if you heard or not, but the Fortnite Chapter 1 map is back. So let's get out of here and go drop in Tilted Towers some more. Get me off here, actually. Let's wrap this thing up. We just started. Let's wrap this up.
So sweaty right now, bro. It is
actually,
sweaty.
It's pretty sweaty.
I'm so happy to be on the OG map with the OG, like, colors, because the colors are even different. You pointed that out. Like,
it's good they changed it all back.
Everything is so great, but man, it's so sweaty.
You and I got a dub in like 3 games, though, for what it's worth earlier. It was our third or fourth game, so that's pretty good. And we had like 15 kills, bro. What we're saying is, fear us.
We're coming. So stupid.
It is so dumb, but I love making that joke. Well, that leads me into my favorite part of the episode, honestly, which is where I throw a little curveball at you in the beginning. Not hot take of the week, but when I throw something at you that you weren't expecting, in honor of the Fortnite Chapter 1 map being back today, and it invoking feelings of nostalgia for so many people. I mean, they had over 5 million concurrent players at one point today, and they're expecting to have more than that tomorrow, which blows my mind.
Amazing.
I would like to know, Hern, what is a video game that when you think of it, you just cannot help but feel warm fuzzies in your stomach? It makes you feel bump ups in your chest. Because honestly, I felt that playing the Chapter 1 map today, and I didn't play all that much of the original Fortnite compared to most people. So,
right. I don't know. So is this question like I don't know.
Just a game
I don't
that
know
you're
how I would
incredibly
answer.
nostalgic for. I can name a few of mine. I have a few prepared. If you want to take a second, think about it. It's up to you. Whatever.
Right. Well, I just don't know. I feel like any answers I have to this question would also answer the question of your favorite video games of all time.
That's very fair, though. You can do that if you want. I mean, I know we've talked some about it. But, like, you know, I talk about Fortnite Chapter 1. It just makes me feel... To play it again takes me back for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So...
Right. And I would agree with that. I think it does. I would throw that in there for me, hearing the old theme and stuff.
It's good,
it's fantastic.
Dude. It's been
I'm
really
so
good
glad
so
they did
far.
it.
And the old models, like... They've been upgrading the models and the lighting and the textures nonstop for 5 years, and they decided, you know, we're bringing back the old stuff. Let's do the old stuff. And I'm so glad they did, because honestly, it looks, in a weird way, it looks better. I don't know. It's less. It's not of as high of quality, but man, it hits home. It's really cool.
I love it. So video games that make my heart go thump thump. I'm just gonna answer it as my favorite video games of all time. I've always had two, and I don't know which one I would put above the other. Super Mario World is like some of my first core memories.
Yep, same.
Love Super Mario World. The entire soundtrack, as with Mario games, the entire soundtrack is...
It's really good.
The entire soundtrack's fantastic. Just love it. I think it's great. I think it's one of the best video games of all time. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorites of all time. Another one that I have played probably countless times through is Portal 2.
I didn't know that was up there for you. Wow.
The writing alone in that game, dude, the writing is so funny. But it's one of those, like, you have to listen because, like, the characters are saying lines or whatever. And it's one of those games, too, where, like, if you're doing the mission or whatever, you could do it in probably 30 seconds and you're going to cut out a bunch of dialogue. But a lot of times there's a character off the side, like, talking. And if you just stand there, he's going to go through, like, a lot of dialogue and it gets funny if you sit there and take your time with the game. It's a whole experience. So, yeah, I would say either of those games I'm going to feel very nostalgic for. Another one would be the first Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops, specifically like zombies. I didn't play the old Black Ops either. Kind of like I didn't play a lot of the old Fortnite. I remember revisiting it when like I had Infinite Warfare was out, like late into the cycle of games, and revisiting Black Ops and be like, dang, dude, this does like feel better and just feel different. I don't know. Yeah. If you go back and like specifically playing the old zombies, the theme, the little piano and stuff,
which is what those little sodas behind you are from, right? The potions from that game.
They are the Perca-Colas, baby. Yes, sir. There you go. So, that's my answer. You go ahead.
I was going to say good answers. One question about Portal 2, since it's one of your favorites. Didn't somebody find out like 8 or 9 years ago that you can beat the game in like 2 minutes without any sort of game-breaking bugs or glitches?
Yeah.
You can beat the game like really quickly, can't you?
Yeah, I can't remember how at this point, but yeah, there's some way. Yeah. Which some games, Far Cry 4, another one of my most favorite games of all time. Mm-hmm. There's a thing where like in the story, 3 minutes into the game, the guy says, "You wait here, I'll be right back." And it's something like if you sit there for like 15 minutes, it's something incredibly long. But if you sit there, the game will end.
That's it. I saw that.
It's like
he comes back and the game ends. I saw that.
I love when games are like when games are that creative to do stuff like that. I love it.
It's always the best. And like I don't know. I feel like we tend to get away from stuff like that for a focus more on like full customization and 8K graphics. That's all I care about. And I'm like, I don't really know why. Because like to tell you one of the games on my list to add on to this point, one of the games that I get super nostalgic about to this day is Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
I was playing it this past weekend with some friends who were playing back through it, and we just kind of sat and played a couple levels, whatever. And the graphics on Nintendo 64 generally have not aged well, I will say. But it was I don't think they've aged badly for what it's worth. Like, it was the first attempt at making 3D games, right? So within the context, they're not bad. But certainly when you look at like just one step up, how much smoother the polygons are on the GameCube and such.
Right.
And how much smoother they were on the PlayStation already at the time. The N64 was certainly outpowered, right? But Mario 64, for example, the graphics are not amazing. The camera is headache-inducing. It's so bad at times.
I would almost argue that Sunshine is worse, though.
Sunshine has the full camera, though, doesn't it? You can get full 360 on Sunshine, right?
I think, but dude, trying to land like on a specific spot. Oh, I love Sunshine. One of the most frustrating games I've ever played.
I can talk more about Sunshine in a sec because you watched me play almost all of Sunshine through.
Yes, that's right.
An old stream.
Because I was so excited for you to find out who Shadow Mario was.
Because I had no clue what was going on. Yeah, dude, it was fun. But all I was saying about Mario 64 was that it still holds up because there's so much creativity that went into it, and you could tell they were just breaking the mold for the time. Even though what's happened with Mario 64 has been done a million times over, it still holds up, and it's still so good.
Right.
So that's one for me. I hate to go double Mario here, but I'm going to go Mario 3 as well. Mario 3 is also one of my favorite video games of all time. And hearing that music is just so good for the first time when you turn it on. And so that's probably the only two that I'm going to say that are just like peak nostalgia, taking me back to a different time. What you got?
I got another Mario entry for you. Okay. I'm sorry, it's just I play Mario all my life. That genre.
I mean,
I've played it since I literally can remember. I've played Mario.
Yep. Same.
Mario Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, specifically again the music. So I've told my wife and my brother, whenever I die, I want either Super Mario World or Super Mario Galaxy music. I want that in the background. You know, they do like the stupid slideshows when you're sitting in the funeral home of like the people. I want Super Mario. I want Super Mario music.
I think just to spite you, I'm gonna play Slider from Mario 64 instead.
With the random like penguin things in there.
Yeah. Oh
People like, what is this?
The penguin you can drop off a cliff.
Yeah. Classic.
Okay, I'd say that was a pretty interesting way to start things off here. I just thought, you know what, people are getting really in their feels and nostalgia today. Curious to see what you would have to say if you have a video game that wasn't mentioned here, or if you agreed with one of the video games that we mentioned here as being very nostalgia invoking for you. Let us know at HeadXPod on Twitter /X.
/Twitter.
With that said, Hern, do you want to let us know what's about to happen?
Next week. Next week.
What?
Right now.
You're skipping forward.
Next
Wrong
week, buddy.
bit, bro. Wrong bit.
Next up on the lineup, we have my favorite bit of the week, which is the hot take of the week, baby. It is my week. I've got this week, buddy, it's more of a rant. I don't think it's much of a hot take. I think even though you have not experienced what I'm about to talk about, I know you have not.
Okay.
Even though you have not experienced it, even though a lot of people hearing this have not experienced this, I don't know the exact ratio, I think after I hear it, you should be able to say, yeah. Like, it's not a hot take.
You're
it's just a little
testing my
rant.
critical thinking abilities, my rationality.
No.
Right? Can I put myself in these shoes, even though I've never experienced this? You're not even testing that, you don't think?
It's not that crazy to imagine. In fact, as far as I know, and this may start to spoil it for you a little bit, I think your wife would understand what I'm talking about.
Okay. It's not a spoiler at all. So, floor's all yours. I'll just sit here and shut up for a minute.
To all you people who have don't.
Just kidding.
Oh my
I
God.
interrupted that quickly. That's
a great
one. Shut up.
That was a great choice.
And you said to all you people, I was like, how funny would it be if I interrupted with, hey, all you people.
Would you listen to me?
All right, Mike's muted this time.
Here we go. To all you people who don't have eye problems, you have a handicap. You start off the day in the negative. You had a flat tire on the way to work. I woke up and I couldn't see. Your day's not as bad as mine, I promise. I woke up and I cannot see until I find my glasses. Oh, my stomach's hurting. My stomach's hurting and I wear contacts that are dry by the end of the day that can mess up. You ever put a contact, to all you people who do have eye problems, you ever put a contact in backwards? Yes, you have. It feels like somebody's literally stabbing you in the eyeball. This little tiny piece of whatever the crap it is can cause so much pain. Swimming? Don't even get me started. Dude, I can't tell you the last time I opened my eyes underwater. I can't open my eyes underwater unless I'm the one adult at the pool with goggles. Because if you're wearing contacts, you can't open your eyes underwater. They're freaking float out or something. I don't know. I'm not going to try it. And if I don't have my contacts in when I'm swimming, which first off, I can't see anything at all. So that just sucks. So if I open my eyes underwater, it's pointless. I'm not going to do that. I don't know the last time I opened my eyes underwater. I just can't. Swimming alone, so ruined if you have bad eyesight. Astigmatism, I have astigmatism. So anybody who doesn't know what astigmatism is, look up a picture of what nighttime lights look like with astigmatism. If it's raining and it's nighttime, it looks like I'm in a rave at a club. There are lights just jutting in every direction. It's terrible. So to all you people who don't have eye problems, God bless you, but you start off the day in the negative. You have to have so much more of a bad day before I care compared to us people who wake up and cannot see without something to help. Come on in, pal.
I was just dying of laughter, and I imagine I'll probably keep some in during the editing there in the beginning because I was like, what a random thing to rant about. So what do you want me to do? You want me to kiss your boo-boos? You want me to hold your hand?
I just want you to know that if you say, man, today really sucks, my work was really hard today, I'm going to be like, my job was hard today and I can't see.
You can see. Because the problem of you not being able to see is
I can't
solved.
naturally see. I can't naturally see.
Who cares?
And
I can't naturally go 70 miles per hour either, but if I get in my car and press on the gas pedal,
that's not the same. That's not the same.
This isn't in terms of naturally. But
you naturally can see.
I'm not wishing for me to suddenly wake up with astigmatism or anything like that, right? I've been very blessed to have very good eyesight. And I have at multiple times thought, given how bad my attention span is, how easily I get distracted, how easily I forget things as a result of those two things, how fortunate I am that I don't wear glasses or contacts. I would forget them on trips. I would forget them at home. I would misplace them in the morning, have to rush out the door. I know for a fact I would. It is not lost on me, and it's not been lost on me even before this conversation, how fortunate I am to have very good eyesight. But this feels random. Like I don't even think to mention, like, she's the first person I always think of when she relates to a subject. You mentioned my wife and the fact that she has glasses.
Hey,
I don't think she would agree with you on this. I don't.
That it's a hinder to have poor eyesight?
That specifically your extrapolation of it. She would definitely agree that it's a hinder, and I agree that it's a hinder. But to be like, I don't care that your stomach hurts. I wear glasses.
It's obviously an over-exaggeration. I'm just saying,
using
like,
hyperbole there? Because I took that quite literally.
No, I'm using hyperbole. But it is, like, the fact is, like, I promise you, from the moment I wake up, I'm handicapped. Which a lot of people are handicapped all the time.
Really,
and God bless you.
We fixed the problem as soon as you put your contacts or your glasses.
But I can't. So what? Because this happens, and anybody who listening will know this. There have been times where you go to bed, and maybe you're just so tired before you go to bed, you leave your glasses in the bathroom or whatever.
How bad
knock
is
them off your nightstand. My vision compared to some is not terrible. It's bad, but for anybody who knows this, my contacts are sitting around like a -2. I think my wife's like in the -4s.
Okay. The more negative,
I don't know what like the average is. Yeah, and say I don't. Yeah. The more negative, the more negative, the more nearsighted you are. And then I suppose the more positive, the more farsighted you are, which is just really weird to me in the first place. Anybody who's farsighted, like, obviously you can't help
good
it.
Vision.
That's just weird. No, farsighted means you can see far away, but you can't see up close.
Oh, my fault. Okay. I took that as being able to see further than the average person. So, okay, that makes sense then.
No, but it makes no sense. Like, how can your eyes see far away, but they can't see up in front of you?
Eyes are one of the things that, like, thinking about the science behind eyes and, like, textbooks and stuff like that makes me feel existential. Right. I'm like, there's not rods and cones. What the frick are you talking about?
Right.
Like, what are we talking about here? It's uncomparable to most things.
I don't mean it literally that, you had a flat tire. Well, I had to put my glasses on this morning because that's what you said. That's what you said. It's like, yes, but it's a funny way to deliver the line.
I'm all about
deliver the point that you're wearing glasses that they're constantly slipping down your nose.
So
you gotta
it's just
push them up. You gotta clean them all day long.
Not being able to see being a hindrance. That's the hot take.
I don't think.
Is it that it's more of a hindrance than the average person thinks? Is that the hot take?
Yes. The point would be that you people that have been blessed with good eyesight, I promise you don't know how good you have it. Because there are times I've been wearing contacts since I was in 7th grade.
It's kind of early for contacts, right?
Right. Well, I hated glasses. I hated them. It's like I wanted contacts really bad. But I've been wearing contacts for how many years now? Over a decade. And there are times where it still takes me like 10 plus minutes to get my contacts in because they're just fumbling. This morning, 2 hours ago, right before we recorded, where it prompted this again, like this emotion.
This is the last second hot take you said.
I was putting new contacts in the package. They're rolled up. They stick to themselves like freaking saran wrap. So like when they fold in completely, it's so fun to sit there and try to unpeel it without tearing it. It's so fun. And both of them were in the package like that. Like, these are brand new contacts. So not only did I have to sit there and unroll them without tearing them, but then they're kind of fixed in that position, so they're jagged almost, so they felt like knives going into my eyeballs. And I've been wearing contacts for 10 years, and I still have issues. Yeah. It's just, It's not fun. It's not fun at all. And then you
Imagine
hear of
not.
some people who get LASIK and they get the stuff to correct it, but then they have like nerve pain or nerve
there's
damage
problems
in their
with that, I
eyes,
see. Uh-huh.
which is terrifying. So I don't know if I want to get LASIK or not
I mean,
because
aren't
first
there
of all,
people
it's
who like
expensive.
their
but
LASIK surgery goes wrong and they lose their vision entirely? Isn't that a possibility? A small
probably,
risk you take?
I'm sure it is. It's just I don't know. I hate it. I'm the only one in my family that has poor eyesight. My mother now does.
Wow,
so
that's actually kind of crazy.
God bless you, Mom. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm the only one. Well, no, my mom doesn't have glasses still. I was gonna say I'm the only one with good eyesight, but no, my mom is the only. My mom has good eyesight as well. But my dad has glasses that he doesn't wear. I don't even know if he still has them. Dad, I know you're listening. Do you even still have your glasses? I don't even know.
Let us
My
know.
sister's had them for like her entire life, and my older brother has them as well. So
Okay. Well, there you have it. Having
That's
poor eyesight
the way the
sucks.
news goes.
Specifically, if there is any event that I would say this is really being noticed, it's swimming. Swimming is ruined if you have poor eyesight.
heck yeah. Well, that's one thing I wouldn't miss, anyways, because I can't swim. So
You can't swim at all.
no, I cannot. I mean, I've gotten to where
Oh, you're
like,
just
I
saying
can
that you're a
go
poor
from
swimmer.
one end of a pool to another. But I promise
Okay.
you, the second my hand hits the other end of the pool, I'm literally like sinking straight to the bottom. I can't tread water. I can't float.
Yeah.
Nothing. I can do some quick, normal, like overhand swimming for about 20 feet before I start sinking, inevitably.
You said
So,
you can't float?
cannot float.
Yeah, I can't either. That's just a cheat code if you can float.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm gonna
people are
drown.
Like, oh, you just have to not do anything.
Listen,
Shut up.
No. Not all of us.
People are like, just relax. I'm going to quote one of my least favorite characters from Rick and Morty, Jerry Smith. Have you ever tried to relax? It's a paradox. One does not simply try to relax. It doesn't happen.
That is true.
So when I'm in the pool, I am a quick slip away from death because I can't swim. Right? I end up on the wrong end of the pool, I'm dead. Potentially. If the pool is deep enough. If it's a 10-foot pool. Not pole. 10-foot
39.5-foot pool.
Appropriate reference.
Yeah.
If I'm like an Olympic pool, for example, I mean, I'm literally, I would die. I would literally die. So, being in this situation, I'm not going to be relaxed at all. You tell me lean back, whatever, and I have tried to get into as much of a state of serenity as possible while in a pool, and I don't float. I don't know what's wrong.
That's the way the news goes.
Yes, sir. Way to throw that in for a second time tonight. Let's do it, bro.
I like it. Well, there you have it.
There you have it. Hot take of the week. Let us know if you agree or disagree at HeadacheSpot on Twitter. Looking forward to hearing from someone on Twitter one of these days, letting us know what they think about the show. Anytime now, people.
Go on.
We have operators standing by, waiting on your phone calls, waiting on your tweets.
Yep.
But with that being said, Hern, would you like to move into the main subject of the night?
Sure, we can do that. I definitely, this was your brainchild.
Yep.
I want you to intro it and take it at first because honestly, this is a great idea, but I struggled honestly to come up with
That's why
this topic.
I pitched it. I was actually reluctant to see if you would want to talk about this or not at first. I don't know if maybe this would be a good curveball item, like just what we call in the beginning, little things we chat about in the beginning of the show. But
It's a great idea.
I'll just intro it by giving you a little anecdote about it to what prompted this discussion. Okay.
Okay.
So I was getting Taco Bell late at night a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to not break the bank, which I mean, it's really not that hard to do at Taco Bell, but I wanted to get like as full as possible for as cheap as possible. Okay. And I knew I wanted a drink because you can't go to Taco Bell and not get Baja Blast. Okay. You got to get that Baja Blast. So I went, I wanted that, and I was like, okay, they got this box out. Now they have this box, as they tend to do, that has the main new item, a taco, and then like one other weird side hoe item, right? Plus the drink.
Yes.
This box, however, had a drink, 3 items, and strawberry cinnamon twists, which I never had. I'm not one to do dessert with my meals anyways, which I mean, if you're calling those a dessert, that's a whole other discussion. Technically, like, they're more of a dessert, though. They're sweet after you've eaten everything else item. Would you agree? Mm-hmm. So I would never get them on my own because I don't really get dessert. I love cheesecake, like really strong, rich stuff like that. But I would never, ever get cinnamon twists. But I get these, and it comes with it, and I never tried the strawberry cinnamon twists anyway. So I thought, interesting. I'll definitely at least try them. We'll see how it goes.
Right.
So I get them, and I'm eating the cinnamon twists once I finish everything else. I think I actually tried them before everything else on the way home. And they were fine. They've always been fine. Do you have any thoughts on the cinnamon twists, Hern? Any thoughts at all?
I don't get them just because I think there's other sides. The Fiesta potatoes are better, and the nacho fries are better.
Big time.
Yep.
Yeah, this one, it just came with the standard. The box was pre-made for me. I didn't actually choose any of the items in this box.
Okay.
I did choose my drink, of course, though. Duh. But it occurred to me on the way home, as I was doing this, if you, as an adult, are going to Taco Bell and you're listening off, I want a Crunch Wrap, I want a Burrito Supreme, the Doritos Locos Taco, I want the Mexican pizza, and you think to yourself, you know what I need with this order? You know what I really want with this order? I need cinnamon twists. I have to have cinnamon twists. And you are over the age of 10. It's a red flag as a person. I'm not saying this in terms of a dating kind of way, but as a person, like deeper than a dating kind of way. It's a red flag. Right. If you are out there ordering cinnamon twists on the regular, if you go to Taco Bell, cinnamon twists are in your order frequently when you go to Taco Bell. I would say more than once a year, maybe. That's a red flag. It just is. And so it just made me start to think, what are some other things? What are some other food orders? Fast food, sit-down restaurant, as specific or unspecific as you want, that are red flags. Because for me, I just don't see how you justify ordering cinnamon twists. I don't.
Right. Okay. The best example for me personally that you said, so I full-heartedly agree, was just the choice of a restaurant in general.
Oh yeah, that's on my list. So,
my least favorite restaurant. I've ranted about Olive Garden. This doesn't compare to Olive Garden.
Yep.
What restaurant is it, pal?
Captain D's, dude.
Captain D's. I once fell inside of a Captain D's and cracked my head on the floor because there's so much grease on the floor.
Oh,
it's just grease.
That story got
everywhere.
Funny pretty quickly.
It's funny. It's disgusting. And then they got vinegar just sitting on every table.
Do they?
Yeah, they used to. You could sit there and they had the little plastic cups.
Well, I like the vinegar for your fish. I like a Long John Silver's. But there's something to me about like Long John Silver's versus Captain D's. I'll be fully transparent here. I think I've only ever been to a Captain D's a single time in my entire life. Okay?
That's all you need. First and last. That's all you need.
And to jump ahead for where I was heading with this discussion, I have put on Twitter at least once, maybe more than once though, that the greatest accomplishment of my generation will be when we finally put Captain D's out of freaking business. Captain D's, we're coming.
I hope we're fear us. We're coming.
Actually,
hope so, dude.
We're not coming.
No, that's why you went out of
business. We're not coming.
I just don't. I don't know who is. You have the choice of going anywhere. And in our hometown, specifically our hometown, especially our hometown. Growing up, the selection of restaurants was so.
That's
small.
all we have is chain restaurants. We're chain restaurant heaven.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Not even that. Like, how long did it take us to get an Olive Garden?
Well, a long time.
How many years did we hear we're getting a Red Lobster? We never did. Like, there's
the opposite. But keep going.
What do you mean? You heard we weren't.
I always heard those rumors, but then I always heard someone say like, "No, Red Lobster won't do it because we're too far to deliver fish freshly in a cost-efficient way." So I've heard that they'll never have a Red Lobster. It's an extra hour.
Do it to Charleston.
2 hours round trip every day. I don't know. Think about it.
Where's Charleston getting their fish from?
I don't know. It's just rumors. You always heard rumors we were getting it. I always heard rumors that we couldn't get it. So keep going. It's all good.
I heard rumors that every year we were getting Red Lobster.
This is besides the point.
What I'm saying is, our options were so limited. Sincerely, compared to a lot of home, I think compared to a lot of hometowns, we didn't have an Olive Garden. Olive Garden isn't that extravagant. We just didn't have one.
Captain D's isn't even a sit-down place though. Olive Garden, I would consider fast casual.
You're not driving through Captain D's.
They have a drive-through. I don't think the one in our hometown did. Eisenhower or Robert C. Byrd?
It did?
It's Robert C. Byrd Drive. It had a drive-through.
Right next to where Shoney's used to be?
Yeah.
They had a drive-through?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
We always only went inside.
Well, one of the things I want to say about
Hence me
Captain
following.
D's, it's a red flag if you go there. Hashtag no offense, hashtag some offense. Because who is going there? It's always empty.
That was my point. That was my point is you have your choice of all the restaurants, all the chain restaurants, and you're choosing Captain D's? Are you?
Dude, I would frequent a Subway in my college town that was next to a Captain D's, and I would always sit in a way that looked right out the window at Captain D's, right?
Just watching.
It's kind of like Krusty Krab Chum Bucket. Like, it was just right there, right?
Okay, great.
And the amount of times that 0 cars would come through the entire time I was at Subway, more than I could count. The amount of times that there would be less than 2 cars in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming one of them was an employee. More than I could count. The employee got there somehow. Could have walked, certainly. But who's going to Captain D's? It's a red flag if you eat Captain D's even semi-regularly at all. Like, at all. If you're like, yeah, I could go for some Captain D's right now. Red flag. First of all, Long John Silver's is everything you could possibly need, minus all the weird stigma.
And even then, I won't go there. I've
not gone.
Spoiler alert. Either. Right. Spoiler alert. I've said it before. I'm not the biggest seafood guy.
Me neither. But
they're not even seafood.
It's like southern fried.
That's like seafood. I feel like whenever you say you like McDonald's, I love McDonald's. Is McDonald's real food? No, it's fast food. I'm sure the pink slime crap is real.
Thanks for that.
So why do people who like seafood? Can you not acknowledge the fact that Captain D's and Long John Silver's is crap?
Silver's?
It's terrible. Silver's? I have a speech impediment or whatever it's called.
Do you?
Sincerely, dude, it doesn't come out that often because I try to avoid words. Okay. Say the tongue twister of the woman who sells
seashells by the seashore.
Ain't no way, dude. Ain't no way. I can't even say. I have to think.
Sally
to say.
Sells. Come on, right now.
Social studies. Social studies is hard. I want to say social. I want to say social.
Social.
I don't know what it is.
Sally Sells.
Sally Sells. If I go this slow,
Sally Sells C.
Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Can I do it? Sure.
Speed it up a
little bit. Can I do it any faster than that?
Speed it up a little bit. You
can do this. First off, I thought it was she sells. Not
Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
Sally sells Sally sells seashells by the seashore. That literally hurts.
That's the worst place to sell seashells.
Right. That's where they are. I'm contorting my tongue to make myself do that. I can't do it. So I'm surprised you just now realized that.
Yeah.
Long John Silver's.
Terrible place to sell them. Anyways. Second worst
Long
place
John
to sell
Silver's?
them besides a Captain D's. Because to sell them at a Captain D's, you have to be at Captain D's. And that's a red flag for me. As a human, I don't want... It's a red flag as a human if you go to Captain D's. It is. I remember growing up, and here's one of the real kickers for me. We did have Long John Silver's twice or so a year, I would say. Just trying to average it out. About twice a year, I would say. It was always mad expensive. This is like pre-Obama era. It was mad expensive. Like, talking long time.
Thanks, Obama.
And it would take forever on top of that.
Yep.
Just for it to be Long John Silver's quality. Yeah. But even besides that, we would look at Captain D's and see the stuff that they were advertising on their signs or their commercials and be like, ugh, that sounds terrible. I think they did a lot more maybe I'm wrong on this. This is my perception. Do they have cold items on their menu? Cold seafood items? Not sushi per se, but things that you would eat cold.
What else is there besides sushi?
I'm trying to think.
Cold?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I could not answer that question.
That's fine. Maybe I'm wrong in that regard, but one way or another, I'm not wrong about the entire existence of Captain D's. It is a red flag if you go there. It is.
I know we have hyper focused on that point for the last 5 minutes. I'm sorry, it's true. The sincerely worst restaurant, in my opinion. I think it's terrible. I as an adult, as you said, I won't go to Long John Silver's, let alone a Captain D's. And I will wholeheartedly say Captain D's is so much worse than Long John Silver's.
I'm never going to step foot in one ever. Right? I just have no desire for it. None.
What?
What? What's up?
Good. No, good.
I do occasionally think, like, maybe I'll try Long John Silver's again one of these days. But what were you going to say about Captain D's? That's all I was going to say.
No, it wasn't about Captain D's. I was going to try to move us on from this because we've been stuck on this for so long. Okay. I was going to ask, so what is another example, besides getting cinnamon twists at Taco Bell and just choosing to eat a Captain D's ever? What are some... What's the word for this?
I'm saying red flags.
How are we describing this?
Red flags.
Red flags, food choice,
red
flags.
Orders.
Red flag food orders. Okay. So what's another one? What do you got?
I've got another one for you here, and I think you're going to disagree with this one.
You mentioned one to me, and I'm excited to hear this.
Oh, I don't think I've mentioned this one to you, though. So,
okay.
Okay. I think you'll disagree with this one.
Okay.
One that I think is a red flag is if you get one of those burgers that is so stacked with so many patties that it turns into like this. If you're getting a Dave's triple stack, what are you doing with your life? Get another burger at this point. Get another burger.
You're not fitting your mouth around it. So no, I honestly
so you gotta
agree.
And then like up there again, and then like, oh, I miss them in the middle. And that's one bite section. Terrible.
Big Macs are big enough.
That's about as big as you can reasonably go. Is Big Mac.
Big Macs are the biggest burger. Yes, that's the biggest I will go. If you get like a double patty, sure.
I can live with double patty. That's what I was going to say though. Something specific provoked this as well. After I'd already thought about this topic, I went to Shake Shack for the second time this past weekend. Both, of course, since I started eating meat again. It's great. And also wanted to give an informal update. Shake Shack is better than Wendy's. It really is. It's better than Wendy's.
Really? Okay.
So you've never been there, right? That was the thing?
Shake Shack, I have been.
You have been. Did you get the Smoke Shack?
I couldn't tell you. I've been like twice.
It's like these weird sweet peppers with bacon. I don't know if it's mayo on the burger or if it's a pepper sauce as well. Cheese. Whew, buddy. It's so good. So I don't even anticipate trying another burger.
Right away for you. You want that warmed up? Right away for you.
That'll be 1940. Don't mind us. We're just referencing a dumb TikTok that 90% of y'all probably haven't seen. Of a
My
guy
impression of Starbucks
order.
And you want that warmed up? Right away for you.
Come up later in the show, by the way, because I've got some Starbucks red flags for you.
He just like throws the tongs. He's in there like, it'll be 1940 in the morning.
And what's funny is we were on a call yesterday, and we were playing games. You, myself, and my wife, Kat, were playing video games together. And we both worked at Starbucks. Kat and I did. I think we've talked about that at some point, in case anybody didn't know. Mm-hmm. And to a certain degree, like the flinging of the tongs is probably the most accurate part of that entire thing. Because you just throw it in there. Like, just be quick. So, yeah, it's pretty accurate. Anyways. Shake Shack is the best fast food burger. To go back to an old episode where like we agreed on Wendy's because you weren't sure about Shake Shack. I think I put Shake Shack as my second. You had Whataburger as your second. Or maybe it was our first, but Wendy's was both of our seconds. Either way, we said Wendy's. Wendy's is still great. Right. Amazing. Shake Shack is better. So
okay. I'll have to, there are definitely Shake Shacks around, so I'll have to... What was it called? A smokehouse?
Smoke Shack. It's got bacon.
Smokehouse.
Some like diced... Like, they're not like bell peppers, or they're not like jalapenos, or they're not habaneros. There's something besides that. Like, they're like unique peppers. They're amazing. Amazing. So,
okay.
Yep.
I like it. I just thought of one that maybe you'll disagree with as a former Starbucks barista.
Wait, I didn't even finish the Shake Shack point. I just realized that. I was at Shake Shack, and then I was like, oh, by the way, Shake Shack's great. I never finished why.
I thought that was the point. Yeah, no. Okay. Whoops. What is the I
wanted to get two burgers.
Get to it.
Burgers at Shake Shack are like $9. Okay. But to get a double patty, it was only like $2 extra. So I was like, okay, I'll just get a double patty instead of getting a whole other burger. It'll be fine. And adding that one extra patty made it so beefy, and it muted out so much of the other flavors. And it just made me think, like, there are people who get like 4 patties on a burger sometimes. Not necessarily your average person that you see, but there are people. Yeah. Wendy's has a burger with a picture on the menu with 4 patties. 4 freaking patties. Red flag if you're getting that. What are you doing with your life? That's all I had to say.
Congestive heart failure in a wrapper.
You sure?
That's what that is. The random point I thought of, which maybe you would disagree with as a former Starbucks barista.
Mm-hmm.
This is coming from someone who doesn't drink coffee.
Okay.
So take what I'm saying as a grain of salt.
You're great.
But
it's coffee season. So
if you drink black coffee,
I don't trust your opinion. Give me a break.
I don't trust your opinion on most things. If you say, I like black coffee, you like drinking tar.
I like good black coffee. Bad black coffee makes me want to die.
What makes a difference?
How can you make earlier this week?
Yeah.
They have the Starbucks Reserve Roastery. It's the largest Starbucks in the world. It's not like they're selling the stuff that you go to Starbucks to get. They have completely separate menus. It's fancy stuff. High-end coffee.
It's fancier than Starbucks? High-end than Starbucks? What's it costing, $20 a cup?
It wasn't too bad in price. But, I did get one coffee that was like $8.50 when I was there.
A venti. A venti.
It was a venti. It wasn't a venti. Regardless. If you think Starbucks... That's part of the issue. That's part of the issue. Is you see Starbucks, oh, that's the fancy stuff. Okay. That means that you're taking the stuff that the average coffee drinker would say, God, this is crap. I'm talking the stuff that your grandparents drink. Most of us. Folgers, Maxwell House. That stuff is like literal garbage to a coffee drinker. An actual legitimate coffee drinker. It is, at that point, so bad that you're just getting the caffeine for it. If you're like, yeah, it's the cheapest way for me to get my caffeine. Okay. If you're that aware of it, whatever. I got into a whole argument with someone one time. It was a pastor at a church that my church was affiliated with. Okay,
goodness,
and we were buddies. We'd go back and forth about stuff, whatever. But he was like, "No, Folgers is literally the best coffee in the world. Literal Folgers, not exaggerating." He was like, "And if you cook it," he said, "cook it," even though you make coffee, whatever. He's like, "If you cook it on your stovetop, that's the best coffee in the world. There's nothing better." And I just don't know what kind of life you're living if you think that's the good stuff, because having normal Starbucks and then having just the high-end Starbucks, which still coffee connoisseurs would tell you there's still so much better stuff out there even than the high-end Starbucks stuff, the reserve stuff they call it. The difference is drastic. So I would love to know, what's the black coffee you're drinking? Are you talking Hardee's, McDonald's, Burger King coffee? I would never drink those, period, much less black. So
that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I have tried a few different combinations of coffee. Specifically, the only kind of coffee I've tried that I would if somebody bought it for me, I would drink is a mocha or whatever. I like when it's cold. Is that what it's called when it's cold?
Mocha is my. Say it again.
Is it a mocha when it's cold, or is a mocha a type of coffee? It could be hot.
It could be hot. Mocha is a chocolate latte, so it's espresso, milk, and chocolate is a mocha. You could do a hot roast.
That's the
mocha is great. Mocha is my go-to.
But ice at McDonald's I've had, and it's not bad.
Yeah,
I could drink it. For me, sincerely, the most black coffee I've tried was in the workplace. They got the coffee pot in the break room.
Avoid it.
Where somebody's making coffee.
Avoid it.
But still, I can't imagine that. Is that black coffee garbage? Sure.
Yes.
I cannot imagine that Starbucks' black coffee is so much better that I'll drink the black coffee.
I don't do black coffee at Starbucks except for once a year at least. I get their Christmas blend. So now, actually, because their drinks are out.
Merry coffee.
They change it. Merry coffee. They change their Christmas blend every year. So I always try it at least once, because when I first started working for Starbucks in 2017 and 18, it came out and it was amazing. Over the past 3 years, it's been so ashy and terrible that I don't even look forward to it anymore. But that is one example where I would always drink a hot coffee at Starbucks. But I don't even think, if you you view Starbucks as it's fancy coffee. It's not. It's really not. And I'm not bashing Starbucks. Nothing against it. But it's not fancy.
It's definitely the fancy. It's the fanciest quickly available coffee.
Fancier. Local is fancier than Starbucks. It absolutely is. And it's cheaper.
Meaning like your little coffee
Chocolate Mousse in
truck.
Shout out Chocolate Mousse. Those guys are great, by the way. It's at the West Virginia mini golf place.
Yes. You're saying that
would be the beginning, the lowest level that I would say is fancier. Now, you can go and get Foo Cuckoo Bananas, kill you if you drink 2 in one day drinks with the amount of sugar and caffeine content if you're not careful. You can do that anywhere, literally anywhere. But if you just go somewhere that has locally roasted beans, sourced from a place where they could probably point out on a map, yeah, we got them from here. Or maybe even a single origin, meaning every one of these beans came from one farm. I promise the difference is drastic, and if you get the right bean, it can be worth drinking black. That's all I'm saying.
I just think
if you're drinking Folgers, McDonald's, most Starbucks, especially Pike Place roast from Starbucks, black, red flag. I would agree with you.
So which I believe most people are. Most people who drink black coffee, they're the ones going to the break room at work, and whatever the crap somebody made the coffee with, they're just like pouring a cup of it.
No shot.
I don't trust your opinion on food.
Knowing me, like, oh, you like coffee. You drink coffee. Would you think that about me? No, I know I've kind of mostly gone away for it in favor of G Fuel, which is a cheaper alternative. I like the flavors. I think that's 5 episodes in a row that I mentioned G Fuel.
It's at least.
Hashtag should be, could be a sponsor. Hit us up, G Fuel.
But I do what of you?
Do you think that I'm a coffee guy? If you think of me like, you know me, yeah, you would think of me as coffee guy, right? Yep. You said yes. If someone is at a gathering, Thanksgiving, Christmas, party, funeral, doesn't matter. And people are like, I'm making coffee. Do you want some? The answer is 100% always no. Never. I never want it because I don't want what you have in your house. I was with my friends this past weekend who are bigger coffee connoisseurs than I am. Like, he wants to someday own his own coffee shop, do his own roasting, stuff like that. And he has all the fancy equipment, right? He's the only place that I will drink coffee from someone's house at, for the most part. Unless you're that level, I'm like, I don't want what you're going to make because it's going to be garbage. It's going to be terrible coffee. Yeah. With all due respect. Like, it's an example of, like, once you've had the good stuff, I'm not going back. I just can't. Because I used to not like coffee either until I realized, oh, there's good coffee out there. I had to do, like, sugary, milky iced coffee. So, I know I kind of rambled. I apologize, but...
So random, but I just have to say it because we're talking about ice drinks. One of the best ice drinks I've ever had, specifically at Sheetz. Do you have Sheetz around you, the gas stations?
They just put their first Sheetz in Ohio last July. So, no, we don't.
Anywhere near you? No.
It's like an hour and a half away. We stopped on our way to Morgantown for our friend's wedding when we went up there. I was like, yes, Sheetz! Every time I go to West Virginia, I go to Sheetz.
Great,
I love Sheetz.
It's so great. Sincerely, the only thing I miss about the Northeast.
Yeah, it's great. I love Sheetz, dude.
Specifically Sheetz. The frozen hot chocolate. Oh.
It's pretty good.
Oh, it's so
That's
good.
such a... it's so sugary. It doesn't even have the caffeine.
It's very sugary.
They have a banana mocha, which is a great drink. Okay. So it's espresso, milk, banana syrup, chocolate syrup. It's really good.
Okay. Well, hit me with another if you've got any more. Hit me with another.
I did have one more, and it was Starbucks related, as someone, and it's from an employee perspective.
Ooh.
So, the famous app known as TikTok, you may have heard of it. Not sure if you have or not. Just being facetious, of course. They have been absolutely a menace to Starbucks since they came around, because they started off being this drink that literally at the time was called the TikTok drink. Okay? Not on the Starbucks menu. Not on the menu officially. But the way it was advertised was go to Starbucks and order the TikTok drink. It was not on the menu. I don't know what you're talking about. But so many people ordered it and walked through the process of the recipe that we did get to the point of knowing, the TikTok drink, right? And I vouched to everybody. If they say they want the TikTok drink, I know you know the recipe at this point. Pretend like you don't. Bad customer service? Maybe. Pretend like you don't know it. Because I'm not...
You're talking to me or you're talking to the employees you were talking to?
Employees, I'm saying.
Okay, I was like, I don't know this, buddy.
I'm telling the other employees.
I was confused.
Someone comes up and says, can I get a TikTok drink? The answer is, what is a TikTok drink? You need to tell me what you're wanting. Because I think it was like... They have the refreshers at Starbucks. You ever try those?
Nope.
They're a good coffee alternative that have caffeine, if you like that. They're not... They technically have coffee extract in them, but they're not coffee, but they have caffeine. So people would get like 2 of those, and then you add the berries in, and then you add ice and blend them. And that was like combining 2 different kinds of drinks into one that was totally not standard, whatever. It was just a nuisance to make. And it got to the point where I literally was telling people, if I was running the shift, if someone says, can I add the TikTok drink? The answer is, what is that? If you can't tell me the ingredients, sorry, we don't have it. Because it's not on the menu. I shouldn't have to know what your bullcrap is. Am I in the wrong for that?
The TikTok drink came out while you were working at Starbucks? That surprises me.
Yeah.
Huh.
I was there till middle of 2020.
Okay.
So,
I didn't know
but I will say
how
at the
long you
time,
worked at
it was
Starbucks, but
very much young girls getting it. And I mean, that's not their fault if they're seeing on the TikTok, go get the TikTok drink. But it's also not my responsibility to be like, I gotta know what this is. Another one that was famous was the butterbeer frappuccino. Was not on the menu. Was not a thing. Harry Potter butterbeer. You ever heard of it?
no.
It's a drink in Harry Potter. I realize I'm talking to somebody who literally hates Harry Potter. It's not on the menu.
Of course it is.
People are like, can
Of
I get the
course it
butterbeer
is.
frappuccino? What the frick is that?
How
What
does
is
a Starbucks drink have to do with Harry Potter? How?
You combine multiple syrups into one, and they're like, this is butterbeer. It's just...
Which is what? Is that something in
I can't
Harry
even remember.
Potter?
I think it was caramel and hazelnut, but it had no coffee. So like it was a
But,
caramel
but
frappuccino
still,
with
how
no
does this
coffee.
relate to Harry Potter? How?
They have a drink in the world of Harry Potter called butterbeer. I don't know. Why is that a big deal? That's not a big
It's
deal.
just-
That's like
it's
the
just-
blue milk
it's-
from Star Wars, which you also don't like.
Never
Which
heard
you
of
also
that.
don't like. That's the thing at Disney. They sell it at Disney. So
Well, that makes a little bit more sense because at least
Yeah.
Disney owns Star Wars. So like at
Yeah.
least that makes a little bit of sense.
but you know what doesn't make sense is that Disney owns Star Wars. That still is very weird to me.
And Marvel.
And Marvel. But back to the point. The TikTok drinks got so out of control that there have now been so many different TikTok drinks, okay? Towards the end of my tenure with Starbucks, they introduced this item called cold foam. If you get a cappuccino, it has a bunch of hot foam on the top, like a lot of foam. Extra foam on the top for a cappuccino, okay? It's good. The foam feels nice in your mouth, and it's good and milky, whatever. I have no problems with cappuccinos. They're very traditional, okay? But cold foam sucked so bad. It sucked to make. It sucked to have to deal with. It was an extra step. It was extra stuff to clean. I hated it. Well, the big TikTok drink right before and right after I left Starbucks was an iced white mocha, which has by far more sugar than you're supposed to have in a day in already. I used to love white mochas, okay? With extra white mocha syrup, already too much sugar. Already too much.
Adding extra, yeah.
And then I want white mocha cold foam. I want the cold foam, but I want white chocolate syrup in that when you blend it.
You have problems.
And then I want
You
extra caramel drizzle.
You have
I want it on the
problems.
bottom of the cup or on the side of the cup and on top. That was how I want my caramel drizzle.
You need an intervention. Sincerely, you have problems.
That was a popular drink. That was not like a once. That was popular. Popular.
That's insane. That's insane.
I used to say something back then. Actually, my wife and I said, I'm going to tag her in this too. So if I go down, she's going down with me. We used to say this drink that was specifically provoked by someone who would get 42 pumps of syrup in their 30-ounce iced coffee. 42 pumps. She was an EMT. She was a sweet lady. I thank her for her service. But she would order an iced coffee, which has classic syrup already, with vanilla and caramel. And if you don't specify, that's full amounts of vanilla, full amounts of caramel, and full amounts of the classic sweetener they already put in there. That's 21 pumps of syrup already. And then she would say, but I want double of those. 42 pumps of syrup by the time it was all done. I kid you not, this is about the size of the cup, okay? It was, not exaggerating, this full of syrup.
You sincerely have more. That's worse than alcoholism.
Well, here's the thing. That's what Kat and I said at that point. We say, at that point, just do cocaine.
Sincerely.
What? Like, just do cocaine. I swear.
That's
just do
insane.
cocaine. And I don't... If my job is listening, God, I'm kidding, obviously. But, like, seriously, what are you doing with your life at that point, man?
that is
You have a
insane.
problem. I actually had a customer who did do cocaine and said that getting addicted to coffee helped him not be addicted to cocaine anymore. Real story. And he did get very sweet coffee. Maybe that's what triggered it. Like, at that point, just do the cocaine. We're telling people. Thinking that, right? But, like, that is by far one of the most insane things I've ever seen. If you're getting a sugary drink from Starbucks, which I do, around Christmas time, I like the caramel brulee latte. I like the chestnut praline latte. They're amazing. They have a gingerbread latte. They brought it back this year for the first time in like 3 years. People were pumped, right?
Buttons.
What did you just say? It didn't come through on my end.
Not the gumdrop.
You're muted, right? Are you muted?
Buttons.
You're not. I don't even hear you at all.
I'm just going really high pitched.
Oh, that's probably why. Yeah, because I heard you talk. I guess I'll hear it in editing.
There you go, pal.
But
Little treat for you.
I like the sugary drinks. If you're getting the sugary drinks and making them more sugary, you probably have a problem. It's just my opinion. I think it's a red flag.
I think we talked about it a little bit in our things that aren't cults, so I feel like cults episode. Starbucks, especially after what you just told me tonight, you've skyrocketed in my opinion of you get specifically the people who are getting these types of drinks.
It's insane.
You have a problem, sincerely. Like you have a problem.
They should come with
if you're getting.
Hey, that's 4 times your amount of daily recommended added sugar in it.
There is a significant chance you have a heart attack drinking 2 of these drinks in 24
Yeah,
hours.
not to mention the literal bona fide drug of caffeine in it as well. So, which I have nothing against caffeine. Love me some caffeine. I've been addicted my entire adult life. So, just not sugar. I'm not addicted to sugar. I'm not.
There you go.
There you go.
You heard it first.
Merry coffee. It is Merry Coffee time after all. Oh, I forgot to look at what the saying is this year. I need to check. I'll check sometime this week because the Christmas flavors came out yesterday, so I'm getting the Starbucks Christmas flavors pretty frequently right now until I get tired of them. So, well, hopefully, if you made it to this point of the episode, first of all, thank you as always. If you made it this far, we hope you found that subject interesting. When it was a little weird, that's probably one of the weirder subjects we've discussed on the pod. Yes.
Yeah, I think I was thinking earlier because I like just thinking ahead. What are we gonna talk about next week? At one point, we talked about doing a conspiracy theory episode.
Yes, we have. That is definitely at some point going to happen.
I think we should do that rather soon, just because I think it's gonna be so much fun.
Okay. Yeah, because we've got our discussions ready already, right?
Right. Yeah, because we were gonna do it, and then just recording weeks kind of fell apart, and we ended up doing our Halloween episodes.
That's true. And as a preview, it's not us saying this conspiracy is not true. It's talk or is true, right? It's just, hey, here's some conspiracy theories that are out there, and here are some of the twists and turns that people have speculated that they take. And there's the one that I chose. I will go ahead and put out there, put my little tinfoil hat on, and say it is like the only legitimate conspiracy that I think I actually believe in.
My conspiracy theory is one that I disagree with. Spoiler alert, we went to the freaking moon. We have been to the moon.
Nuh-uh.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in the episode. We've been to the moon. Okay? We've been to the moon.
I don't know if that'll be next week or the week after or what, but I definitely think we should do that soon.
I'm excited for it. That's all I wanted to bring up.
But I do know one thing we're going to talk about next week, if you want to mention that real quick.
What's that?
Next week, dude, remember?
Oh, are you talking about?
Next week.
My shark
You got your
survival
story
kit?
to tell.
Dude, I don't leave home without this now. My shark survival kit, I don't leave home
Why
without
not?
it.
Oh, you'll tell us next week.
Just in case. Just in case I ever have a repeat of the infamous story.
You'll tell us next week.
There we go. We got it, pal. Sounds good.
Well, buddy, do you have anything else you'd like to add on to this episode?
That's all, buddy. God bless all you. Happy holidays. 'Tis the season.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh my God.
We love you. Thanks for listening. Tell a friend about the pod. Leave us a review on Spotify. That's it for me. Hooday.
Every week. I cannot wait till football season's over. Are you still going to say that?
I'm absolutely going to say that all year round, buddy.
Oh my God. I was going to say, you got to come up with something else. But of course you would.
Hooday.
Peace, baby.